It's been over 2 years since we've had Kricketune on Fan Fridays, so let's see what this forgotten bug-type Pokemon is up to in the 7th generation. Now this one also looks like we're pretty much going to understand what happens. Ninjask comes in, sets up, Kricketune gets tons of stats, and then turns out that any Pokemon, when it gets a crazy amount of stats, is able to sweep, but at least it's remembering that Kricketune exists. That's maybe one of the biggest things going on right here, and let's see if there's anything special behind what ends up happening. So Ninjask versus Xurkitree. Ninjask going to get the Swords Dance, because that's just how it works. What is Xurkitree going to do as a response? Thunderbolt. So straight up Thunderbolt. Is this going to be a simple Ninjask? You know, just focus sash, outspeed everything, get the setup, GG, just like that. Let's watch and find out. So that's going to be stats. Ninjask will use the Protect, so we're going to be doubling the speed at the very least, and we're going to see if that is going to be enough for the Kricketune. So Hidden Power, that's going to be something, and yeah, we're going to see like how this is going to work, because switching in the Kricketune is going to be a little bit problematic. Hidden Power from the Xurkitree could be anything. Maybe Hidden Power Fire, just in case it's like a wacky switch or something, or Hidden Power Ice because you're switching to Garchomp. Who knows? So now Kricketune comes in. Xurkitree is going to throw down the Hidden Power, and the Hidden Power will not be a super effective hit, so Kricketune's alright. And that is going to be a Xurkitree withdrawal right there, going into the Gyarados now. Now we just get to see what Kricketune does with +1, because it was +2, but that is cut down. Oh, Leech Life! Yeah, the Leech Life buff, probably pretty solid. And now, yeah, Kricketune just wins now because of that Leech Life. That's a not very how much damage does Kricketune have? Because that's Life Orb coming into play. That's all the other fun stuff. But Kricketune is +2. Should be able to outspeed after maybe a Dragon Dance. And even then, just KO straight up now. Well, is he going to get the Leech Life fake out? You know, now he's a Dark-type Pokemon. Leech Life is pretty... Wow, went for the back-to-back Leech Life. Maybe anticipating the Mega. If not, just no fear whatsoever. And that is going to be Kricketune almost getting all of its health back, but getting a strong hit against the Gyarados as well. And Kricketune's going to lose some health because Life Orb is big damage. So now Garchomp comes in. What does Kricketune do against the Garchomp? Ooh, Scarf Chomp going to get that outspeed in. And Kricketune doesn't seem like it's going to worry too much. 184 on the hit points. Very surprisingly bulky, at least to me. And then X-Scissor comes through, and that's going to be enough for the critical hit to one-shot the Garchomp. Did the crit matter? Maybe. We're going to have to break down Kricketune's stats. Rough Skin does make it a little bit tougher on the Kricketune. Same when it loses all those stats, but now Xurkitree comes in. And Xurkitree, Kricketune just going to go for the Leech Life. Is that going to be enough to one-shot the Xurkitree? Alright. That's a lot of damage on the Kricketune. We gotta break down these stats a bit more because yeah, Kricketune, I guess when you look at it, it's like maybe it needs some kind of speed boosting and then it can do pretty well because that was only at +1 attack. That Gyarados came in with the Intimidate and then Kricketune was still able to tear it up. Wow. All right, and now I'm confused because Kricketune is just absolutely terrible when it comes to those stats. 77 on the hit points, 85 on the attack. Very frail defenses, and then 65 speed. So we do need to like max out our hit point stat if we have any chance of surviving anything. And then also when we look at our coverage is Dark on the Night Slash. You also get Knockoff as a move tutor. Maybe Fell Stinger, something that you kind of like want to run into it. I would recommend Fell Stinger over the X-Scissor. And yeah, when we have the new updated Leech Life, you know, Leech Life is 80 base power, and then X-Scissor is 80 base. So no real reason to run the X-Scissor, and that's kind of it. Like, anime only moves, Bullet Seed, Zork. Dude, why doesn't it get Bullet Seed outside the anime? That'd be pretty cool, that'd be pretty nice. And then the damage calculations. Damage calculations are also pretty wacky. So we have Garchomp. Yeah, Garchomp actually doesn't KO us unless it uses the Outrage. So that's interesting. Also, I guess it's just like circumstance because we're a Bug-type Pokemon. Maybe he threw out the Poison Jab knowing we're Bug-type and just went for that instead of the Earthquake, or maybe he thought we were like grass as well. Kricketune with that Mono Bug. You don't see Mono Bug too often, and it does kind of work out, but Kricketune needs a buff to its moveset, or a little bit of something else. With the hit points, that all lines up with Life Orb and stuff like that, but the damage doesn't. So that means Kricketune actually was in a pretty interesting scenario because it gets Swarm as an ability. So Swarm activated when it was at such low health, and then that just kind of like stacks the damage, stacks a lot of the extra benefit and stuff. If we were at +2, it would also look like a pretty scary Pokemon, even at full health and stuff. So it really breaks down to the other stats, because since the Kricketune has max hit point investment, I guess the idea is that Ninjask needs to get more speed into it, because that had to have been Scarf Chomp, because even at 0 speed investment, we still outspeed at a +2 on that speed at level 50. So just by 1 point. So that's kind of weird right there, even with an Adamant Nature. So I was like trying to give us the most damage possible. It doesn't really make sense to go Jolly Nature, and then at +3, I guess that's where the speed ranges start getting a bit more complicated. But I'm wondering if there's like a mixed attack investment, mixed speed investment, Jolly Nature, Adamant Nature. There's a lot of questions I have about this thing. The Intimidate did kind of suck, but I'd also recommend just like protecting first on the Ninjask, you know, not going for the Swords Dance and then like protecting. You need that 3 speed boost when you're running Pokemon that's 65 on the base speed. But yeah, overall, like, it kind of makes sense, but I want to see more battles because that was just funny. Alright, now this is pretty cool. We also have the 2 cannon. My guess is that you can kind of adapt it to whatever situation you need. If you just want to bring in 2 cannon, baton passing all those stats in 2 cannon sounds pretty cool to me. So I'd like to see some 2 cannon get more play like that. What do we have here? We have Clawitzer. So, I haven't seen this Pokemon in a while. It has like a lot of damage, but at the same time, it probably isn't going to do well against this setup, so we're just going to see how it plays out. Now, the Ninjask setup, there's not really too much to say about it. You know, Ninjask goes for the Swords Dance. If they don't have priority, you're safe to do your thing. I want to see some extra little bit of like outspeed shenanigans, because that would help me figure out what's going on here. Clawwitzer's going to come in, Muddy Water. That's not going to KO the Ninjask, but it doesn't matter anyways. And then just like protect and stuff. So there are a couple ways to run Ninjask. Like, we have seen some substitute plays. And then I like remember the Z Sand Attack, right? It was like Z Sand Attack Ninjask. That way it got +1 to the evasion while also minusing 1 the opponent's accuracy. That was able to hide behind sub until it got sub. Like, that should be the new Ninjask. That should be the staple. That should be the standard that every Ninjask wants to emulate. Because that's going to be like a free substitute with a baton pass as well as potentially more stats. So now Kricketune comes in, Clawitzer with that Aura Sphere. That's not really going to be too bad for the Kricketune. Yeah, that's pretty solid. So Kricketune, like, I guess it just needs to come in at the right time, and maybe depending on like which receiving candidates you have. Oof, that's a lot of damage. That is not good for the Clawitzer. So, I mean, it maybe might come down to the candidates that, yeah, if you feel super effective hits coming out of Kricketune, you go into something else. If you think Kricketune's safe, you just come in and you make your opponent feel bad about themselves because they just lost to a Kricketune. So Kricketune, wow, it has Brick Break. Okay. It's got a little bit of extra tech right there. So that means it can hit the Rock-type Pokemon. So it's like, what, Brick Break, Knock Off, Leech Life, Fell Stinger? Is that like the best thing you can do with the Kricketune? And now it's Aurorus, and Aurorus really does not like having Brick Break to the face. So that's going to be a KO right there. And it looks like Kricketune can just turn it around with a sweep if it needs to. And done. GG. So not a bad baton pass recipient, it seems like. You just catch your opponent in that, and they're going to have a pretty bad time. Next battle. Oh, yeah, and now we got the double strats coming in. Oh, is this going to be a shout out to the old one? Because, like, Trick Room was one of the foundations for that. So let's see if we got a 7th generation twist. We got Z moves. We got all kinds of fun things that can come into play now. All right, it's not just like singles baton pass. I think people would get a little upset about that one. But now it's going to be Leafeon Primarina versus Audino Kricketune. That is probably the first time this has ever happened in Pokemon. Anytime you lead Kricketune in doubles, like that scenario is the first time that's ever happened in Pokemon. It is going to be Mega Audino. So yeah, Mega Audino, not going to have the Z move, so we're going to see where that goes. Kricketune's going to protect on the first turn, and then it's like, yeah, there's so many good Trick Room Pokemon that, like, it's just going to happen kind of idea. So Leafeon comes in with Leaf Blade. Good damage on the Audino. Ooh, that's even a crit, never mind. Terrible damage without that crit. Ice Beam comes on to Kricketune, that's going to be protected, and then Audino gets the Trick Room off. So what is our friend Kricketune going to pull off under the Trick Room? That is the big question right now. Audino comes in with Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam, not a lot of damage, but it is good chip damage. And then X-Scissor, ooh, Leafeon gets wrecked. So yeah, Dazzling Gleam does a couple of good things there. Just in case Leafeon is going to have that Focus Sash, break up that damage, then also chipping a little bit onto the Primarina. and then Ice Beam. So Primarina will connect Ice Beam onto Kricketune. Is this like full tank Kricketune and the speed boost doesn't even matter maybe? Because it's like surviving hits in a pretty good range. And Audino has Heal Pulse. So that's just a little filthy right there. There's no Swords Dance right now, so Krickatune's running off of its own raw damage. Leech Life onto the Metagross. Not quite half. And unfortunately it heals and then loses because of that, but it looks like maybe Audino just pumps stats in the Kricketune. That's it. And then Meteor Mash going for that super effective hit onto Audino. Audino will survive it as well. So just playing like ultimate bulk frustration. Audino using Heal Pulse again. Only making sure that Kricketune is healthy. And then Kricketune, I don't understand the X's there, honestly. Like, it's the same as Leech Life, except it doesn't heal you. So I think the Fell Stinger would be pretty cool if you could get that finish on a Fell Stinger, +3, and then you win the battle. So that's going to be Meteor Mash. Audino goes down finally. Still have a little bit of Trick Room up, and this is where like I feel a Z move could really change the tide. Seeking comes in. Or just Seeking, doing Seeking things. Kricketune with the X's, yeah, that would have been a Fell Stinger. Boom. Ridiculous right there. And then Kricketune loses some hit points. Primarina goes in for that Ice Beam. Ice Beam onto Kricketune. We've already seen it not do absurd amounts of damage, like Kricketune just survives it. Seeking, though, has a Poison Jab. That's going to be super effective on the Primarina. Not enough to KO, but something that matters quite a little. Quite a bit. It's mixed, and then Incineroar comes in. So it looks like Incineroar should be the end of our Kricketune, but Seeking can put down the damage. So Kricketune's going to protect it out. Yeah, that's a nice protect play. And then Seeking's going to Scald the Incineroar. Solid damage. And the thing is, Incineroar's slow, so that's really all that was needed right there. So now we get the pick up. Incineroar actually has Outrage. So going to Outrage onto the Seeking. Seeking doesn't take enough damage for it to matter. And then Seeking double Scald. So that's going to be Incineroar going down, which means that Primarina is at the mercy of Kricketune. Unfortunately, all the hits are going to be resisted. Interesting side effect of Kricketune's moveset. Ice Beam, though, comes in. Leech Life barely surviving 2 hit points. Leech Life, though, with the clutch, will not be effective, but still does a lot of damage. And then Kricketune heals up a little bit. Alright. And that's it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Leafeon went down. So, man, that was just a quick battle. Actually, maybe average pace, but yeah, like the Leafeon went down pretty quick. Incineroar got popped by the Seeking. Trick Room did last and then wear off, but in that time, Metagross took a lot of damage. So just decent trades overall, and then like Kricketune just won trades somehow and then was able to heal it off. But again, I think that Leech Life would be pretty ferocious. And Leech Life buff, gotta respect it, that any bug type physical attacker that gets access to the Leech Life, or really any physical attacker that gets it, has the opportunity of having that buff. That sustain on top of solid amounts of damage and the reliability, pretty good overall. Kricketune, it's a good baton pass candidate. It could also be supported really well in doubles. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and I'll see you in the next Fan Fridays.